Hey folks, Mr. Ziegler here. Today we're going to be looking at creating and editing a Google form. So let's get started. So I'm going to start off in my Google Drive here, and a quick way to pull up a new Google form would be to come right here, click New, and you can see there's Google Forms. Now you'll notice there's an arrow over here. If you hover over that, you get a choice of a new blank one, or there are different templates. Let me show you the templates real quick. So here's some education choices, personal, and work. So those are the ones it's giving me. I think I'm going to start from scratch, but it might be worth taking a look and seeing if there's one that actually might meet your needs. And then part of the work is already done for you. So I'm just going to close this. And again, you would just click New. And now I can just do blank form. And it turns out you can also just click right on the words Google Form, and it'll open a blank one for you. I've already done this. I have it right over here in a tab. So this is what a new Google Form would look like when you first open it up. To me, with the questions I'm going to be making today, they're going to be about computers. So let's see if we can just give this a more computer look to it. So if I come up to Customize Theme, let's put a little picture above this. We can choose an image. Now I can upload pictures that might already be on my computer. Here's some other photos I might be able to bring in, but I'm just going to use the themes for today. Let's see here. I don't want to spend forever looking for something that has to do with computers. No, we'll just choose this first one right here. But you can see there's different categories over here you can play around with and scroll through until you find the perfect one for you. But I'm just going to grab this first one. Click on it once, hit Insert. Now notice we have some theme color choices. So you can now pick a theme color, liking that shade. And beyond that, you also have a choice of light, medium, or dark. I love the contrast of the dark one. You can even choose between 4 types of font styles. Decorative would be a cursive, formal, a little more fancy schmancy font, and then even a playful font. So whichever one you would like, doesn't really matter. I'll just stick with the basic one. All right, so if you're going to be collecting data from some people, a good first question might be, their name. So we're going to get their first name. And that would be a short answer question. Another important thing to point out here is you'll want to require these questions. The person who's answering your questions needs to answer each one of these. Right here, we'll talk about this later. I don't think I'm going to insert a picture right here for first name. Maybe we'll pick some pictures for some of our questions. So the plus sign actually will allow us to create another question. I'm going to close these theme options. So click the plus sign. All right, so if we have their first name, well, I guess we need their last name. And now usually Google will see what I'm doing and change the question type to short answer for first and last name. There, make that one required. Okay, so now I'm going to start working my way through some of the different types of questions. And you can see we have short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, drop down, linear scale, multiple choice grid, and checkbox grid. So just to give you an idea of how some of these questions work. Alrighty. So this one, how about while I'm typing on a keyboard, is a keyboard and input or output device. All right, now this one would be great that you had a picture too, maybe a picture of a keyboard. So I click on that. Now I could upload a picture. I could use my camera. If there's a website I know, or maybe in my Google Drive or a photo on my computer, I think I'm just going to do an image search. Let's see what we can find here. Keyboard. And sure, I like this one right here. Grab that one. And there we go. Pictures at the top of our question. So our choices are input, And our other choice is output. All right. So we'll require that question. And that's, of course, a multiple choice question. You could have two choices, you could have several choices, but there we go. There's multiple choice. I even use multiple choice for my true and false questions. Okay, moving on. How about we do, let's see, I think checkboxes was next. Yeah, we'll do a checkbox question next. So let's see what would be a good one here. But which of the following are parts of a computer system? Let's see. How about we also say check all that apply? Alrighty. So what would be one? How about the monitor? Maybe hard drive. Something that wouldn't be the hyperdrive. Star Trek or Star Wars, I guess, reference maybe. Let's see. How about something that actually is? How about a maybe a printer? And let's see, monitor, hard drive, printer. And you know what? We don't really need a fifth option. I mean, I could keep going on here, but we'll just close that one. All right. Maybe we could even do another picture. How about let's see, computer system. See what we get. Oh, that's pretty good. It shows a little bit of everything here and actually provides some hints to what might be the right answers. All right. Fantastic. Don't forget to make that a required question. Did I make this one required? Yep. The little red asterisk lets you know that you've made a required question. All right, let's make a new one. Let's see what's next after checkboxes. Oh, dropdown. All right, let me show you how dropdown works. So what would be a good one here? How about which of the following electronic devices do you use more often? Give them some choices. Let's see here. How about the first option? What are some different types of electronic? How about a Chromebook? Or how about a Windows PC? Maybe an Apple Mac, so a Mac computer, Macintosh. Maybe an iPad. Maybe some folks use Android tablets. Notice every time I press enter, it's adding another option. iPhone, and maybe there's some Android phone users out there also. All right, so we have all those options, and then there'll be a drop-down box. You might recall this on different websites that you're filling out, and maybe there's a drop-down. You have to choose which state you live in. You see, the list is so long, you don't want to put all those words on a website all at once. You want to just hit a drop-down, choose the one that applies to you, and that way you're not using up a lot of space on your website. Okay, and so making that required. We might preview all these questions later to make sure they're all working, but let's add another one for now. Oh, how about linear scale? I think that is next anyway. Yep, linear scale. So here's how linear scale works. How about on a scale from 0 to 10, how much do you like using our school's Chromebooks? Okay. Now I said 0 to 10, so we're going to have to change that. So 0 all the way up to 10. Now I have to label these also. So 0 would be the low end. How about I hate them? Yuck. Just being silly there. And then the opposite of that is that I guess you love them. Yay! There we go. So there's our words indicating that 0 is low and 10 is high. Again, require the question. And one more time, I'll point out that when you've required a question, after you leave that question behind, you end up with a little red asterisk to remind you that that is a required question. Okay, well, what's left with our questions here? We did multiple choice grid. Yeah, let's walk you through that. Let's see. Oh, okay, I've got one. How comfortable are you working with the following? All right, and on multiple choice grid, good. So there's rows and columns. The rows are the different things that you're answering this question about, and then the rating for that is over here in the columns. It might make more sense once I get these in here and show you how it works. So maybe a Chromebook, a Windows PC, and Apple's Mac. So and we're going to answer that we're either an expert. How about great? Let's work our way down. Good, fair, and poor. Okay, so you're either somewhere between an expert and poor with a Chromebook, with a Windows PC, and with a Mac. All righty. So there's our multiple choice grid. And again, I'm going to show the preview of all these so you see how they look. And I think Checkbox Grid. So Checkbox Grid has some different, it's very similar to multiple choice grid, but well, you'll see in a few moments. We actually can check off multiple answers. So how do you do multiple answers? Well, it's a different kind of question. So let me make up one here. We need to be able to do multiple things. Let's see, what are you able to do with different types of computers? All right, so can you, let's see, well, why don't we use the same three choices as before? On a Chromebook, on a Windows PC, and on, once again, Apple's Mac computers. Now, let's get some choices. So on a Chromebook, can you do these things? On a Windows computer, can you do these things? And on an Apple, can you do these things? So let's get some choices of things you can do on a computer. How about install programs? Connect to a network. You know how to reformat that machine. You know how to set up a printer. And you can see you can go on from there, but that's a good amount of choices. Make that required. Now, I didn't do pictures for every one of these, but I thought that just showing you a couple times of how that works would suffice. But if you wanted to, you could always come back to one of these questions, click on that icon, and again, add more photos, but I didn't want to make this video last too terribly long. All right, so why don't we actually preview this and see how it's looking so far? So the preview button is right here. Click on that. And here's what our Google form looks like so far. Oh, you know what? I noticed we never changed the title for this. I'm going to close it real quick. Let's go back up to the top. Oh gosh, just computers. And let's describe it. How much do you know about different types of computers? A little more detail about what it's going to be about. All right, so we've got our little title up there. Oh, and by the way, once you type this title and you click up here, it'll paste that same word up top into the name of your Google form. All right, let's preview that again. So right here, the eyeball. All right, so here we go. So now you can start putting in your name, So is a keyboard an input or output device? Now I have to pick one. Hopefully you would have realized that's an input device. Which are the following are parts of a computer system? Check all that apply. Well, it's the monitor and the hard drive and the printer, but not the hyperdrive. That's a little faster than light thing for, I believe it's Star Wars. Now here's our drop down. Let's see here. Which of the following electronic devices do you use most often? Well, right now I'm sitting, see there, that's our drop down. And now I really use my Windows PC most of all. So I'll click on that. On a scale from 1 to 10, how much do you like using our school's Chromebooks? I don't hate them, but I don't love them either. Let's maybe about a 7. Okay. How comfortable are you working with the following? So Chromebook, well, I wouldn't call myself an expert. I'm great. Now notice we get a little pop-up. It requires one response per row. So Windows, now I'm really good with Windows. Apple, we have some Macs in our house, but I don't use them as often the rest of my family does. So maybe I'll say I'm good there. And finally, what are you able to do with different kinds of computers? Now notice up here, I could only do one answer per row, but down here, check this out. So our school Chromebooks, I know how to install programs. I know how to connect to the network. I know how to reformat them, and I know how to set up a printer. In fact, I know how to do that with my Windows PC. But you don't have to click all of them. I'll just leave one blank here. I know how to do that, but we'll just leave it blank just to show you. Let's pretend I'm not as good here with my Macs. So maybe I don't know how to install programs, but I do know how to connect to a network. And I think I remember how to set up a printer. There we go. And then your person would submit their answers. Now, this was just a practice, just to preview it, so there's no need to submit this. But there you go. We've now walked through, I'll just close that, all the different types of questions that are available to you on Google Forms. There's only a couple little things that I didn't skip over, but I hit all the major areas. And I hope you found this helpful. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining me. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.